Okay, what we're going to talk about are the three different types of running shoe categories there are. Alright, running shoes are divided into three basic categories. They're motion control, stability, and neutral. The first shoe, and the first category we're going to talk about is what makes a motion control shoe. A motion control shoe is categorized by being one of the more rigid shoes that are going to offer the maximum amount of support for somebody that's an overpronated or has flat feet. Okay. Now, one of the three things you're going to do to test whether the shoe is categorized as motion control, stability, or neutral is the first thing you do is you test the heel counter. This area right here around the shoe is the heel counter. And the more rigid it is, if it's real stiff, you squeeze it right here. And if it's real stiff and it doesn't really bend or flex, then it's probably more in the category towards motion control. The stiffer it is, the more rigid it is, the less the heel is going to rotate inside of the shoe. Okay, it helps hold the heel in place back here. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is take the shoe and you're going to try and twist it side to side. Okay, if the shoe has a little bit of twist is good, but you don't want it to really fold and roll. All right. The third test is you're going to grab the shoe here and here, and you're going to try and bend it in the middle. And this tells you whether the shoe has any type of shank or internal rigidity in here for the sole to give that midfoot support. Where the shoe should flex is here. You should have a little bit of flex here, but you shouldn't be able to roll the shoe up. Okay, so this right here is the Brooks Ariel. This is a motion control running shoe. That shoe has a rigid heel counter, pretty stiff in the middle, and doesn't really have a lot of torsional flex. All right. The next shoe we're going to talk about is the Adrenaline GTS from Brooks. Same thing, you squeeze back here, it's a little bit softer, not as rigid. Okay. The shoe has more bend, you'll see it has a lot more bend. It's still rigid in the midfoot, but has a lot more flex in the forefoot. And it twists up a little bit more. This is a stability shoe. This would be a category of stability. Next, we're going to talk about the Dyad, which is a neutral shoe. Still has a rigid heel counter, so it's still supporting the heel. But you'll notice the shoe kind of folds right up in the middle. We can just take it and bend it and fold it. All right, it has a lot of flexibility through the midfoot. Same thing here. It really twists up. So this is a shoe more for a softer, more cushioned running shoe. It's not really designed for, really motion control or adding a lot of support. Any one of the three shoes are still good shoes, but it's just different categories that you're going to go ahead and use to determine whether it's neutral, stability, motion control. Another thing you'll notice that kind of separates stability and motion control from neutral shoes is you'll see a lot of extra material built up right in here. And what this is really rigid material that's designed to help the foot from rolling inward. So they put this material so that the foot doesn't roll over. You'll see it on both the GTS, less. There's the Ariel, a lot more. They see none right here. That's it.